Hi there, happy Wednesday. All right, so today I thought I'd tell you a story about why I'm bad or was bad at dating. I never could figure out how to really do that very well. All right, so I remember the first time, kind of late middle school, early high school, when everybody's getting their first kisses, I guess. And I had a friend who had, by that time, kissed like 50 boys. And so I was way far behind. Of course, she was way far ahead. And I remember asking her, well, how do you kiss? I mean, what do you do? I had no clue. She's like, well, you just stick your tongue in their mouth and you just twirl it around. Okay. Well, I'm thinking this is just disgusting anyway. I mean, why do you want to do that? I didn't get it at all. So I remember my my first kiss was at a boy-girl party, and there was like a kind of a canning cellar in someone's basement, and it was a boy-girl party. The parents were home upstairs. Well, everybody went into the canning cellar to kiss this one guy that was everybody's first kiss. And so I remember being like, okay, I remember what she told me. Just your tongue goes in and then you just twirl it around and then stick it. Well, this poor little kid just like pushed me away and goes, what are you doing? I was like, isn't that how you're supposed to do it? He's like, no. So that was embarrassing. So I didn't really, get known as that kind of girl at all. Then I remember the first time nobody asked me out for a long time. And because I guess word on the street was like, I did not know how to kiss. And so I remember one time when I was probably 15 or something, and there was another boy-girl party, but the parents were home and it was just New Year's Eve hanging out, right? Well, I got dropped off by my mom, and then I wanted to get a ride home. Well, again, parents knew all the other kids, and so I think I was a sophomore, and this senior guy offered to give me a ride home. Well, we got in his mom's, probably like Cadillac or something that had like velvety bench seats, and so I got in, I put my seatbelt on, and I'm just staring out into the dark night, waiting to go home after midnight on New Year's Eve, and he looked over at me, and he's like, Ashley, you don't have to buckle your seatbelt, and you can sit right beside me. And I just remember being terrified. Like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? I mean, what kind of wild person is this that thinks that seatbelts are just, not really what you do, and that you can sit in the middle where a person isn't really supposed to sit in the front seat? And so before I could scoot over, the first thing I did is I looked at him and I go, I don't want to have sex with you. He just turned around and looked at me, and he just burst out laughing like, what are you talking about? I just wanted you to sit next to me. And I was terrified. Well, he took me home, and I think he did give me a kiss. So that was maybe my second kiss. But yeah, I still, so word on the street was that I wasn't really this great date. The next time I remember somebody asking me out was, again, a senior person. He asked me, I was like, I don't know why people think, you're stupid or silly or goofy or whatever. I think you're nice. I'm going to take you out. Well, okay, I hadn't been on many dates, maybe none dates. And so we were supposed to meet at a football game. I didn't want him to pick me up because I was terrified. Well, then I realized that he has a brand new, like, navy blue Camaro. And, back in the 80s, that was pretty freaking hot, Well, then I thought, oh God, Camaro must equal going behind the bleachers and him wanting to kiss me and God knows what else. So I terrified myself. But then I thought, well, I'm a nice person, so I don't want to, not show up. But I had made myself absolutely terrified about just meeting somebody at a football game. So I freaked myself out so much that when I got there, I kind of hid behind some of my friends. And then here comes the guy who asked me out looking for me. Does anybody know where Ashley is? And I was literally hiding behind some of my friends going like, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't see me. I didn't talk to him the rest of the night. I mean, what an idiot. Yeah, so no, didn't date much. Then there was a new guy that moved into town, and he had, no stories about if I was a freak or not. So he asked me out, and I ended up going out with him, and it really did not end up ending well, because although I thought he was kind of fun and different, when I introduced him to the German exchange student, he said, "Heil Hitler." So I kind of thought, well, this is not what I had in mind either. But then it took me a couple of years to figure out how you actually break up with somebody. So yeah, my dating life wasn't all that great. Dated somebody in college. We were great friends, but you know, it just didn't, it just didn't and then I tried to date other people. No, I was terrified to date people. And then I met my husband when I was 21, and I was just like, you know what, that's it. I just don't think I can handle dating. So here I am, a lot of years later. So I hope you had a much more fun dating life than I did. See you later.